Hello, I'm Taylour Tedder, City Manager for Boulder City, and welcome to the latest episode of Tedder Talks, a once-a-month look at issues and people impacting Boulder City. On March 1st, the Boulder City Fire Department received International Accreditation status.
We welcome to the table Boulder City Fire Department, Boulder City, Nevada.
Our department's accepted all of their recommendations for the peer team, and we began working on them right away. And we look forward to answering any questions you have for us today.
How did you have to go through and do the risk assessment?
What your thoughts are in terms of moving forward on those couple of recommendations?
I just want to hear where you are in that process.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Congratulations, Boulder City, on your first accreditation.
Joining me today is Boulder City Chief Will Gray. Welcome, Chief Gray.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about the accreditation, the process, why it's important?
Sure. So fire accreditation is a continuous improvement model. And so it's a process that requires us to evaluate everything that we do on a regular basis and make sure that we identify any gaps in coverage and constantly have a plan to fix them. This process goes on forever. So it's, like I said, it's a continuous improvement process.
What steps did you have to complete to achieve the accreditation?
Sure. So the very first step is a community risk assessment. So we looked at Boulder City specifically and looked at the risks that are unique to Boulder City, and then we write a document on that. The second step is creating a standard of cover, and it's like a contract with the community. It says, based on our historical risks, our current risks, and our resources, this is what we can do and we promise to do. We completed both of those, and then we did a community-driven strategic plan. And so we had members from within the department as well as members of the community come together, and we built our strategic plan. The next step is a self-assessment process. So there's 11 categories and about 300 performance indicators that we have to write to. And it looks at all aspects of the fire department, from how our governance in our cities set up, how our communication with city staff is, finance, human relations, training, everything. Once that's all completed, we get a peer team of 4 chief fire officers from around the country that come out and evaluate our fire department. They verify and validate what we say. If we reach a certain standard, then they'll forward us to the commission, which is what we did last week when we went to Orlando. And we sat before 11 commissioners who review the findings and ask questions, and then they actually are the ones that vote for us to become accredited or not. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chairman and Commissioners. Boulder City Fire Department's proud to be sitting here today. We're a small but dedicated fire department that are committed to the model.
And those commissioners, the 11 that we sat in front of, they're subject matter experts as well.
Sure, there's fire chiefs from different size departments around the country. They represent the International Association of Fire Chiefs. There's ICMA reps, so city managers, county managers on there. There's insurance representatives, there's labor representatives, and then there's standards representatives like the National Fire Protection Association. So it's a broad group on there.
Chief Gray, you personally received the Cliff Jones Ambassador Award from the Center for Public Safety Excellence. Can you talk to me about that?
Sure. First of all, I was humbled to be selected. That award specifically, every year the Center for Public Safety Excellence staff, the board, the commissioners, they come together and they look through their cadre of volunteers. There's about 600 volunteers in the program, and find the person that in their mind is doing the most for the model currently. And so I guess they decided I was that guy. So basically I've been doing peer assessing for about 15 years. I've evaluated almost 20 fire departments around the country and in Canada and Germany. I've helped start the Colorado accreditation group as well as the Nevada group. And I also mentor accredited agencies. So all that's volunteer work.
I was actually blown away of a department your size and what you've accomplished and what you're planning on doing into the future. Obviously, accreditation will be a really important part of that, but I was totally amazed of everything that you're able to do with the small staff that you have. So very, very well-run organization, obviously.
So during the department's road to accreditation, the process identified some findings about response times that raised some concerns from that process. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So one of the biggest findings we had was our response coverage. Like I said earlier, it's gaps in coverage that we look at, and so whether how long it takes us to get somewhere, or how far we have to go, or what kind of staffing or equipment we have, And so one of the things we noticed early on is Boulder City has a single fire station, and it's located on one end of town. Well, that actually had about 7,000 residents in Boulder City that were outside of that national standard for response times. And so that really allowed us to present that to council, and that kind of was the catalyst to get Fire Station 122 started and underway. So that will hopefully bring the majority of that group into that 4-minute response time.
That kind of leads me into my next question. So the council did approve the funds to build that second fire station, the substation, ARPA funding. And how did that come to be even before the accreditation process?
Our risk assessment was done in 2020, 2021. So we had that information already up front. So in November of 2021, actually November 17th at council, we presented our findings, and that really started that ball rolling.
So what's the next step in the fire station kind of construction process?
So we currently have Showcase Contracting. They're actually our design build company. They're working on a formal bid. Once that's all put together, we anticipate hopefully into this month, first part of next month of April, we'll bring that before council for a final approval. They're projecting to be done by the end of the year.
You also have a fire training tower in the upcoming capital improvement plan. Can you discuss a little bit what that is and how it will benefit the fire department?
We're required to do about 300 or 350 hours of training every year to maintain all of our certifications. Some of those hours have to be at a training facility, about 18 per person. Plus the individuals have to do 192 hours a year of company training. And so that's training is outside, laying hoses and throwing ladders and getting on buildings. Well, the city doesn't currently have a facility. We were using an older building, which is gone now. We've done some of the live burns in North Las Vegas. It's very expensive to take all of our firefighters, pay them overtime, and go all the way to North Las Vegas. And so this new facility will be right next to Station 121. So it'll allow our members to do all their training on duty, in service, so that not only are they in town if we get a call, but we don't have to pay them extra to do the training. So it'll be a great training tool. And then some of those things that we train on are considered high risk, low frequency events, but because of that, you're supposed to train on them a lot more often. And so since we don't have a lot of house fires in Boulder City, which is good, they don't have the same amount of practice at them as some of the bigger cities do. So this will allow us to do more training to keep their skill set higher, which allows us to respond quicker and more effectively. So I think it'll be all around good for the city.
Chief Gray, thank you so much for your time today.
I'm happy to be here.
Be sure to check out Tedder Talks once a month at bcnv.org/Tedder. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next month for the next Tedder Talks.